Hey America, it's Tom Murdoch from Tommy Nice Productions, and today I wanted to do a quick demonstration of the autofocus capabilities of the Olympus 12-100 f4 IS Pro lens, which I currently have mounted on my GH5S. Now, as we know, we've heard about the autofocus on the GH5 cameras. That it's not something that you want to rely on. You know, if you're doing something professionally, you're definitely going to want to use manual focus. Now, I've rented a couple different micro four thirds lenses. I've rented the 12-35 f2.8 version 2, the Panasonic, you know, I guess the top dog. And then I'm trying this one. I also rented an Olympus, I believe it was a 45mm 1.8. The autofocus on that was terrible. But again, this was before the firmware update. So I'm filming this September 20th, 2018. So I've got the latest firmware available on this date. Now, when I rented the 12-35 version 2, that was also before the firmware update was released. That was actually pretty good. I didn't have any complaints about the autofocus, and I wasn't even using that 179-degree hack. That autofocused pretty well. So I read a little bit about this 12-100 having decent autofocus, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm actually filming this whole thing in autofocus on the GH5S, so it seems to be doing pretty well. I'll hold some things in front of the camera, see if we can twist it up a little. What else here? It's actually pretty damn good. But this Olympus 12-100 on the GH5S, I haven't really been able to trip it up. It's worked pretty well, and right now I'm shooting at, let me see if I can see my screen. I'm at 4K. I'm at the 150 megabit 60p setting. But anyway, let me try to do a few more tests here to see if we can trip this lens up. I'm not using the 179-degree hack. I'm just using the latest firmware, autofocus. I'm in the my switch is in the AFF mode. I do have continuous autofocus enabled, and I'm in the 255 point mode. So I'm not in face tracking mode because I'm going to flash some things in front of my lens and see if it'll focus on them, and they're not faces. So let's do a couple tests, by the way. So let's do a couple tests. On the clapboard and back to me. On the clapboard, back to me. On my phone, back to me. Okay. Little struggle there. I wasn't in the center, so even though I'm in the 255 point tracking mode, which appears to cover the entire midsection of the screen, maybe the complete center area, it if I'm not dead center, like if I veer off a little bit, It seems to be holding now because there's nothing else confusing it, but seemed to struggle for a split second there on that last shot. Back to me. Let's do let me do like a walk forward into the camera. Seem to do pretty well. My eyesight's very poor, so I can't tell if it's in focus on me right now. I'm guessing it is because I'm standing right next to Millie here, and I'm guessing it would either focus on me or her. I am shooting at 60 frames a second, the 4K 150 megabit mode on the GH5S. I'm not very well lit back here. Let me see if I can light it up a little better. Here, let's pull this light over here and get it a little closer to me. Right. There we go. So as I'm walking forward, seems to keep a pretty good focus on me. Of course, like I said, I have the worst eyesight in the world, so. And I'm about a foot away from the lens right now, so let's get closer. That's pretty close. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm at, what am I at here? I can't read the, oh, that's at 25. So this is, so if I zoom all the way out, so this is at 12 millimeter right here. So this is at 12. So that's pretty good focus there. It's on me. So let's zoom out to, well, let's zoom in to, here's 18. So this would be, I guess, like the 35 millimeter framing on a full frame. Equivalent, I guess you would say. And that's not bad. So if I go off center, it definitely loses me. And then once I go back to the center, it catches me again. Off center, it loses me. Looks like it's focusing on that lamp. So very sensitive to the center, even though I'm on that 255 point mode, which seems to cover more of the screen, but it doesn't really behave that way. Still though, knowing that it's gonna be center kind of heavy as far as focus attention, you know, that's good to know. If you know that, then you can kind of account for it when you're filming, if you use autofocus. So let's go in a little more. So this is at 35. So this would be like your 70 millimeter equivalent. So I'm at 35 millimeters on the lens. And so yeah, it catches up pretty quick. Takes a second to, now I backed out real quick, but if I slowly walk in, it stays with me. It seems to hang with me if I don't move too quickly. So let's bump this up. So now we're going to go up to 50. So this is 50 millimeters on the lens. So, you know, well, on the GH5S, I know it's not exactly a 2-to-1 because the sensor's slightly bigger than a micro, like a regular 4/3. It's not much. What's this on my face right here? Which side is, what is that? I don't know, it's like I got like some weirdness on my skin. I got a lot of weirdness on my skin, actually. Okay, so I guess that makes it good for focus testing with all the crap on my face. So I went too fast there. But if I slowly creep in, it does stay in focus as I'm walking in. So that's good. I mean, that's actually better than expected with a GH5 type camera. All right, let's bump it up a little more. So now we're going to go up to 70 millimeter. So get in the center. I'm going to walk forward. And it looks like I'm probably going to hit like the minimum focusing distance soon. But it's, yeah, so I'm too close. So right about here, at 70 millimeter, I'm probably about, I don't know, whatever that is. That distance. So that's probably like half a foot away from the camera. But yeah, it definitely, it recovers quickly. It's not hunting. I mean, it just takes a second to find that focus, but it's not like it's not like in some videos where I see it like pulsing. It's definitely not pulsing from what I can tell. Okay, so let's go out to let's just jump up to 100 now. So this is the max zoom. This is 100 millimeter. Okay, so right here. So I'm in focus right here. Can't really tell. You know what? Let me see if I can switch to focus assist mode on my screen, and that might help me. Oh, there we go. Focus assist mode. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I can see my head is highlighted with red lines, so I'm guessing I'm in focus. So I'm in focus right there, so let me slowly creep in. Oh, it's got the red dots around my eyeball. That makes me think my eyes are in focus. So I definitely, as I got too close, so at 100, it struggles a little bit because it probably doesn't know where to focus. I mean, it doesn't understand like what it's looking at, so it doesn't know what to focus on. But right now it seems to have locked onto like my eyelashes, so that's decent. Went too fast on the zoom out or the walk back. So if I walk slow, I can get to about right here. If I walk backwards, it's still locked in on me. So, okay, it's struggling now. Probably because I'm in the shadows. But if I move my light, I'm gonna try to get my light situated. Come on. My light. There we go. So I've got my light. It's probably still too dark. It's kind of struggling to understand my face. Yay. So let me walk back slowly. So it's still focused on my face as I'm walking backwards. Now if I slowly walk in, like let's just pretend I'm like an artist that's telling a story and I'm slowly creeping into the camera. I mean, that the way it appeared in my screen at least, I looked like I was in focus, so it'd be interesting to watch this back on the computer. But anyway, yeah, I could probably do this all night and just repeat myself over and over. So hopefully this has been useful to somebody that might be considering this lens. Once again, it's the Olympus 12-100 f4. It is a rental, but it seems to work pretty well. It does have a clear B&W filter on the front. The lens rental places always put those on to keep the actual glass protected, but it doesn't seem to be hindering the performance any. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. If you found it useful, hopefully you'll give me a like. Any comments in the comment section below are more than welcome. And if you want to subscribe and catch more of my videos, I would greatly appreciate it. So for now, Tom Murdoch from Tommy Nice Productions. I'll catch you guys on my next video. Say bye, Millie. Bye-bye.